Welcome to the Fireflow. This one's going to get a bit more focused on stepping and extending away from center. It's going to involve a lot of dragons as well. Dragons low, dragons high, dragons hug, dragon frolic, some single arm swords, and even some releases. Think about flames dancing and jumping away in different directions, and always kind of finding this center light. So we're going to start with a nice wide base, rope hanging on the neck. Taking a nice deep breath in and deep breath out, filling the lungs with air, with fuel for our fire, summoning that inner chi. Certainly tougher being on an angled surface here too, so as you're learning this, a flat surface is super helpful. We're going to bring those shakas together, pinkies touch, thumbs touch, that shaka diamond, bringing in our power and our humility. And we're going to bring it up and over the head, a nice rising thumbs touch, pinkies touch. Find them, extend them. Find a breath in and a breath out. We're going to keep those touching. Flip over the top. Thumbs come to the brow, pinkies point forward. Honor this practice, honor the fire. Humble in its power. We're going to flip the rope towards us. Release the hands, bringing our fists together into the shaka fist, crossing the pinkies, touching the thumbs, bringing that power and rooting it to the ground. Take a moment. We'll come up into our horizon, pulling flat. Now this first little part of the step is going to involve some sneaky kind of rotations, some sneaky wraps. So we're going to rotate the right foot to the right, pivot both feet. We're going to drop down to a knee. The right hand is going to sneak behind the body, inside the rope to the other side hip. And we will pause here, proud to the torso. We will come back up, step to the other side. Left foot opens, pivot, right kneeling. The left hand will sneak behind the rope, behind the body, and we rest at hip height, extending through the torso. We return home. We'll take that same motion, but we're going to take it now to more of the shoulder and the hip. Open to the right, stay tall in a stride. Right hand's going to sneak behind as the left hand crosses around. Right hand goes to the left hip. Left hand rests just behind the shoulder. We get a little pull of the rope. Elbow weaponized up in front. A nice blocker, a nice driver. Eyes right over the bow. We come back and reset, do the same thing to the side. Left foot opens, we pivot. Left hand is going to sneak behind the rope as the right hand comes across. Left hand comes around to that right hip. We pull that rope apart, elbow forward. Focusing our gaze straight ahead, piercing. Return back home. We'll do this once more, but bringing in some balance. So now the right foot's going to open up. That right hand is going to sneak behind again. Same idea, but this time as we get to that hip, the left arm comes up and over the head. We're in this nice vertical sneak position. We have the left hand high. We lift the left leg, find balance in that vertical. Ooh, tough on an angle. We unwind that, return home, find the horizon, and then open to the left. The left hand sneaks behind the rope, punches down to the hip. Right hand comes around, left hand follows. Right hand comes up and over the head. We find vertical, right hand high. Right foot lifts, find balance. Pull that rope to find tension. We come back and we unwind. Now this next little wave we go into is some arrows and then our full sneak wrap. So for our arrows, we want to think when we get an arrow, we're going to rotate our body. We're going to roll that front fist forward. So there's a nice strong line across the body and the elbow straight back behind it. So where the fist goes, the elbow goes opposite. We're going to have an arrow that goes forward. We're going to have an arrow that goes across the body, and then we're going to have an arrow that goes towards the sky, seeing what's in front of us, what's to the sides of us, and what lies ahead and above us. So from that center, we're going to go and take this right foot step back down into a knee. We kind of rotate, open the hips, watch the bail of that knee. Knee points forward, that left fist rolls forward, we find our arrow. Now here's where it gets exciting. We're going to take that same little sneak wrap. This right hand is pulled back. We're now going to drive it down and behind. As that left hand comes around, it gets to the back of the hip. We get vertical and we will step that right leg up into balance now, so opposite. We're going to lunge forward, turn away, and let the rope come down with that left hand as we turn left. We shift our weight to that left foot as the right hand comes up high. Sneak it over the head, unwrap, unwind, re-horizon, and push back home. Great one to continue to work on, finding the smoothness in that transition. We switch sides. Left knee comes down. We point our arrow straight ahead with that right fist. Left hand pulls back. Strong, straight line, eyes over that bow. And then come down with that left hand. Sneak that right hand around. Left hand sneaks back. The right hand comes up over into the head. We pop up into that left single leg balance now with the right hand up. We take a step forward. Right hand's gonna drop down as we turn right. We roll that left side over the top, shift our weight back, pull the horizon, and pop back home. Now we got 2 more steps, and so we're gonna take it lateral out of that arrow. So same start position, dropping the knee. Find your arrow, but turn 90 degrees to that right side. Now it's pointing the same direction as that back leg. We again sneak that right hand down behind, get vertical, then take that right knee up. We're gonna shift to the right. Now we're gonna hold our weight to this side as we continue that sneak wrap. That again comes from that coil rope series. Good breakdown in that course. We unwrap, find horizon, and then pop back to center. Now same thing left side. Left comes down. We turn our body to follow that left knee, left leg, point. Left hand sneaks down. We get that rope to get vertical, and now the left knee comes up. We slide to the left, keep our weight to that side, continue that wrap all the way through, find horizon, and then come back home. Last step, we're gonna continue that same sneak wrap. This time as the right knee comes down and back, we're gonna find a hybrid right between both legs. Lifting the left hand to the sky, right elbow down to the hip, a deep coil. We press. Now this right hand is going to sneak behind the rope. We're gonna wrap it around, getting it up over the head, and then popping once more into vertical on this side. We open into rotation, so find that shift. We continue the sneak wrap, and then when we get this right arm to get long and extended, we reach, and then we follow it over the head. We look around the corner, pull the horizon, and pop back to center. Now last one, left leg. Left knee drops down. We find the hybrid angle right between 45 degrees, right hand to the sky, left elbow to the hip, point to the heavens. Left hand sneaks behind the rope. We get it vertical behind the head. Now that left knee drives up to the sky, and then we're gonna rotate. Open them up. We continue the wrap. Left leg drops down, left arm extends out. Follow through that flow. We pull horizon and pop home. So that's that nice sneaky wrap that owned by the fire, while the waterfall wrap is owned by the water. We take it back around the neck. We honor the fire by creating this triangle touching the end of the rope, the handles, and the center of the rope. We get into a nice hinge, letting gravity pull that rope just a bit, hang it, and then we'll come back up and get ready for our dragon. So from here, we find the horizon now on the back side. It's in the darkness, we can't see it. We're going to feel for it. We're gonna pop the rope over. As soon as we let go of that hand, this hand is gonna grab the handle. And we're gonna go through a series of, it's up to you. I like to go through 3 of each of these. Really starts to challenge the consistency of the flow. But you can do 1, you can do 5, you can do as many as you want. You can mix it up too. But remember, we're doing our whole dragon series. We have 3 highs, three lows, 3 highs, 3 hugs, then 3 frolics, and then 3 backpacks. And I'll break down the backpack version once we get to it. So again, watch the flow, see how it goes through, but as I'm guiding you through it, practice as much as you need. So from that backside horizon, we're gonna pop over with that left hand, grab the handles, drop into 3 low dragons. We're gonna do a bunch more just so that we can take our time with this one and feel it out. But you have low dragons, so hands are beneath shoulder height. Then we have our high dragons, or our mills, where it goes up and behind the head, boom, 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 as many as you need. Maybe you get some highs and lows and start practicing that transition, low and high. But lows, highs, and then for the hug, as we're going to this left side or to that west side, that right hand is gonna scoop underneath to the armpit, and we'll complete our hug, keeping that cross arm position, trying to drop the hands low. Now, a lot of times I see hugs and they're up here, that's okay. That's just a high hug. Bring those hands and try to drop them down a little bit and get more rotation through the hips. It's a lot more agility based, where we pop the hip, much more power based. And then as soon as we come out of our hug, we're gonna go into frolics. So from that hug, we then step through the rope. Now the frolic looks like so. We just break it down simply. As we're going to that west side or that left side, we're gonna step the left foot through and follow it through back side. Boom, frolic. Walking on hot fire, hot coals, hot sand out here. So that's your frolic. We step through, over the top, and how you can break it down too is just kind of step through. Take this hand, continue it over the top and around, and then step your foot through. You should end up right back in the same directional dragon in that movement. So quick transitions there, boom. Now from the frolic, we go to the backpack. Lows, highs, hugs, frolics, and a backpack. The backpack, think of fire, it's very clingy, it kind of holds on to stuff, and then it's floating around. So for this backpack, we're gonna let the rope cling to us, and then unwind it, unwrap it, and then right back and get it clingy again. So for the backpack, we're gonna continue that same directional dragon, but as we come through, we're gonna kind of work along the Z plane, so rotational. So it's gonna wrap around our body like so. Right hand's gonna stay low, left hand high. Now right here, we pinch the rope handle. We let go, we reach through, and we're gonna grab around to that same handle. We're gonna lift the other hand up and over the head, let it slide through as the other arm comes out like a dancing fire. And as we follow this through, hiya, we are right back into our dragon. So for dragon backpack, think Z plane, pinch, it wraps around, we slip that arm through, we gotta sneak it through, name of the game, then grab the handle, take this hand high, let it drop. That rope should just kind of come through this arm, and then the other one goes on the outside, unwind it, and come through. So practice that backpack, pinch it, reach the arm through, grab, release. Start slow with it, and you should end up back in the same side dragon. I've had many of reps where it kind of looks like that. You're gonna find sometimes you go over the top and mix it up a little bit, and you're gonna get kind of wound up and wrapped up. So something got a little bit funky. So when you come through, make it clean, open that gap, big opening. That arm sneaks through, gets up to the shoulder. There's our backpack. It's clinging. We release over the top, get that fire off, and shuck it, shuck the fire. So 3 backpacks. And then when we come out of that backpack, we got one more dragon, boom, and then it's gonna be a same side hand release, pendulum switch to the other side dragon flow. So as we come through, we got one front, one back. I'm going to the left, so left hand releases, whoop, you're gonna grab that left side. Sometimes we'll get a little locked up. So as you get that throw, pop it, get it up high, and now you're into the side dragons for, again, 3 or more. Let's go into the right side. You got the highs, got the hugs, left arm sneaks underneath for those 3 hugs, and then right into the frolic, right foot, right hand over the head. Right foot, right hand over the head, come through, whoo, and then once more, there's your frolics. Hard to do it slow, gotta get through, gotta find the right pace. You go too quick, you'll get stuck. You gotta find the pace with the legs and the arms. So after that frolic, again, into the backpack now, the other side, we have one comes through, left hand's on the bottom, we pinch that right arm on the handle, sneak that left arm through, left hand grabs, right hand high, switch the vertical, unwind it, and right back into the dragon, into the backpack. Pinch. You gotta time it just right so it doesn't bounce away from you like that one just did. So as you come through, it's a quick pinch and get that arm ready to sneak and feel for that clinginess of that fiery rope. Love the feel of this rope too because it is a little bit thicker, and when it gets going fast and you get through that flow, whoo, you're gonna summon some fire spirits in that one. So from the backpack, then you end right into a release of that right hand after one dragon. So we find the backpack, pinch, reach through, over the top. We get one more dragon, and then right hand is going to throw, boom. This is now gonna end us into our right hand, we just finished that right side, into a dragon sword, as I like to call it. So it's our behind the head, behind the back, in the front. Behind the head, behind the back, and in front. Gives you kind of like a little sneak feel. I like to think of it as a sword. If you're holding the sword in there and you got that nice come through, whoo, slicing it down. So again, you finish the dragon flow of the lows, the highs, the hugs, the frolics, the backpacks, both sides, and then as soon as it finishes that throw, right hand, boom, pop, right into right hand behind the head once, or feel free to get a few more. But then we're gonna time a common step forward, side, and rotate as the rope goes behind the head. So we go forward. We can do it again, forward. Maybe go for 3, feel it out, boom. Then to the side, side step behind the head, hip, come home. Side step behind the head, hip, come home. Once more, throw the fireball. Then rotational, open a little bit. A little more of a hybrid angle, open. Goes behind the head, open, hip, and return home. Now, as we finish that series, we'll release one side of the rope, left hand grabs, left hand holds both. Now we're in that left side dragon sword. And again, get as many as you need, but then when you're ready, step that foot forward, hip, come home, side, hip, come home, rotate, hip, and come home. So working that common step, and this is where you can even add a little bit of leap to it. I got some pretty slippery ground, so I'm gonna find my roots with this one with no leap, but you get the idea. Now, as you finish out of that, you have one that comes through, one that releases, we flip, we catch. And now it's really up to you on how you wanna get this behind your neck. I like to go right from here as I get that release to that side, grab, wrap it around the neck, catch. I sit, I'm ready. I come back into that wrap behind. I can go into that shadowed horizon. Then we come down to that hinge, form that fire triangle, that alchemical symbol. We come back up onto the fire, onto the power within. And then we can end there, or what I like to then finish with is some dragon switches. So we can pop back, now it's in the other hand for me. You could go right into the flow again, but now starting from the other side, or go now right into some dragon switches. So then we'll pop this side up and over, grab, dragon switch, dragon switch. It could be a jump, it could be much more of a step transition, it could be some 360s. Again, just be that dancing fire. Go into a freestyle with your dragons, and some highs and some hugs, those switches. And then maybe go into a little bit of Kung Fu. This is where you can start to bridge that gap between fire and water. Remember, we did a lot of sneaks with the sneak throws and then a waterfall wrap in the water flow. This one has more of dragon rolls, but with a sneak wrap. So the wraps, you can kind of see how these water and fire are very similar. They're very fluid in that sense, but the intent is very different. So you can think about, where in my water flow could I go right into some dragons? Or where in my fire flow could I go into some sneaks? And you can start to become aware of what kind of energy you're pulling through in this flow. So I hope you all enjoyed the fire flow. Dive deep into this one, give yourself some grace, some time, some patience. It is much quicker and much more reactive, and feel free to get some footwork in there too. Let those feet dance a little bit and find some freedom with the flow. See you all in the next one. Looking forward to seeing what you share.